Hi, my name is Andrew Steininger, and today I'm going to talk to you about the environmental and temporal variables related to the measles virus. Firstly, the measles virus is influenced by geographic location. It's less common in industrialized nations due to the availability of the MMR vaccine, which prevents it, but it's still common in some countries in Africa, Europe, Asia, and the Pacific. That brings us to the difference between epidemic and endemic. In Africa, Europe, Asia, and the Pacific, the virus is still endemic, meaning it's habitually present in these populations. In the United States, however, we don't really see local transmission of the disease, so anytime it's locally transmitted, we call it an epidemic, meaning it's clearly in excess of normal expectancy. Another environmental variable related to the measles virus is socioeconomic status. Low-income conditions tend to favor transmission of the measles virus because people of low income tend to live in more crowded quarters and also have malnutrition present in that population. Living in crowded quarters is a huge problem with the measles virus because of how the disease is spread and how contagious it is. People living in crowded areas are more likely to see higher rates of disease transmission because it's airborne and droplet transmitted. Here's a graph showing how the measles virus has declined over time. You can see that once the measles vaccine was licensed and started being distributed, immediately rates started to fall. And now you can see any time that there's a locally transmitted case in the United States, why we'd refer to it as an epidemic, because it's above normal expectancy, which is virtually zero. Next, I'm going to talk about the temporal variation of the measles virus. We tend to see higher disease rates with the measles virus during the late winter and early spring seasons, or in tropical climates in the period following the rainy season. One theory explaining the seasonal variation of the measles virus is that it has to do with host behavior. Because it's a childhood virus, it's more likely to be spread during school time because children spread it to one another at their schools. So during the summer, we tend to see a lot lower rates of measles transmission. Here's another graph depicting the seasonality of the measles virus among school children. You can see when school's not in session, transmission of the measles virus drops significantly. And this data is from two different years, one in 1929 and another in 2000, and you can see the same result. And that's all I have regarding the environmental and temporal variables, so thank you very much for listening.